Caleb's performance?
He threw 3 interceptions, had a 59 passer rating. And I left that game thinking he played a good game.
No.
I mean,
You agree, KW?
From now, I have an announcement. I have to steal Bruce.
Let Brew go and then make
And then
their
I'll do an
announcement.
announcement.
first of all, I felt like he outplayed Matthew Stafford in the first half. And we know that had been an issue for Caleb lately. I thought, and not that he was awesome, but I thought he was better than Stafford. He had 150 yards, a touchdown, a pick, was accurate, 13 for 19. And, you know, you've talked about it and shown it while it was the great play to tie the game. He made a believer out of me.
Wow.
Like, this dude, he reminds me, Nick, of Mahomes. And not that he's not as accurate as Patrick and all of that stuff, but as far as the dynamic off-schedule stuff he's able to do, particularly late, the clutch stuff late, it's just, I honestly, the Bears are going to be a force next year. And assuming he gets the other stuff down, which I imagine he will, being a little more accurate, being a little more on time, that dude is got some special qualities. So, like I said, he made a believer out of me.
I want to hear your announcement.
I have been a Caleb skeptic.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge fan of the spectacular. I like meat and potatoes quarterback play like Drake May minus the turnover. You know, a little 8 yards here, 6 yards there, a little bit of yak, nice explosive play.
Your platonic ideal quarterback was Mac Jones with talent.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That being said, these last 2 games from Caleb, and specifically that play, was Captain Sully-esque to me. If you do one thing so spectacular that I've never seen anything like that in my entire life, you were on a free pass for a long time from old KW. Captain Sully goes into a restaurant, accidentally forgets to leave a tip. People want to talk trash. Settle down. The guy landed a plane in the river. Okay? Whatever Caleb does, throw a game-losing interception that may be a misread by DJ Moore, whatever, doesn't matter. That was the most unbelievable play I've ever. Did my football life peak? Did the football life peak at my parents' house watching the game? Maybe. It was. I don't even have words for it, Nick. Unbelievable.
So I mean, this is. I actually don't. You said all that, and deep down, I actually think the 4th down play he made last week was more impressive
than this.
Yeah, I know. We can. But my point is that you're. In the last 2 weeks, he has had a play that I called the single best throw since I've been on TV, and a play that you said might have made your football life peak. And their different 4th down plays to save their season is pretty spectacular. And so, to me, he proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he could one day be the best player in the league.
Oh, yeah.
That door is now wide open. Shut up. Listen, he has to learn from some of the mistakes, including, I agree, the DJ Moore thing. My blame pie on that would be mostly on DJ Moore, but he doesn't have to go for a kill shot there. Mm-hmm. They're in sudden death. They're on the cusp of field goal range. Learn from those mistakes. Improve on the fundamentals. Those types of things. But the things that are the hardest to learn, playmaking instincts, athleticism, arm talent, clutch. Those things are either unteachable or the hardest to teach. He's an A+ in all of them. He's 24 years old and fully bonded now with his head coach.
Yeah, it really is so funny to see how biased people are with their views and takes, and when they're willing to give someone the benefit of the doubt versus not the benefit of the doubt. Because you see these takes split right down the middle, especially with Caleb right now, where people either blame him for why they lost throwing the turn, throwing the interceptions and whatnot, or just being like, that was absolutely spectacular. And I'm going to blame DJ Moore. The blame pie is going to be a little bit more on DJ Moore or this or that. And it's just like, because I said that Caleb Williams played awesome in this game in my post-game clip, and so many people were like, what? He had 3 interceptions and a 58 passer rating or whatever the heck the passer rating was. And it was just like, are you watching the game? Are you watching the game? Are you understanding how this is unfolding? And quite frankly, my take about Caleb really aged perfectly. And it was the perfect encapsulation of this game alone, where if Caleb can just to start hitting the layups, the Bears, and Caleb become unstoppable. They become a juggernaut. It's that simple. It's that simple. Even with some of the play calling miscues that I wasn't a big fan of with Ben Johnson, and just, you know, in terms of kicking a field goal versus not and whatnot, even with all that said, if you just hit some of the layups, game's not even close. Game's not even close. And Caleb Williams completely outplayed Matthew Stafford. I mean, listen, the one interception I don't really put on Caleb. I put the one interception on Caleb mainly. Even the first one, I was like, that was a bad throw. It was high, but it was 4th down. I just don't like the situation that Ben Johnson is putting Caleb in those moments. But also all the drop passes that Caleb had to endure. The questionable play calling that Caleb had to endure. The absolute off-script magic that Caleb literally pulled out of nowhere. Caleb played awesome. He really did. He played awesome. He really did. And they were putting a lot on his shoulders. The Bears really didn't do much of anything to make things easy for Caleb in this moment in this game. And if they could just pick him up a little bit, you know how many times that Caleb was making a whole bunch of these scrambles. And there would have been some difficult catches, but they just could not. Some of these little moments when Caleb is flush out of the pocket and has to scramble, and he's really trying to buy time, and he throws the ball, and it gets dropped like it's a little play because it's like 1st and 10 or something, and now it's just 2nd and 10. You're kind of like, no big deal. But it would have been 2nd and 5 now. Even some of these little little scramble throws to a tight end or something, or falling down receiver. It's just like little catches like that. It's like, oh great, now it's 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. It changes everything. Instead, now it's 2nd and 10. Now it's 2nd and 10. That shifts everything. If his team could just rise to the occasion every once in a while, you're golden. You're golden. But I will say this, some of the spectacular, that throw, that play, that was absolutely amazing, incredible. That can't be the foundation of your greatness, though. It just can't. It wasn't Tom Brady's. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes's. Like, it can't be the foundation because it's awesome. It's exciting. It gives you the highlights. Makes you feel like it's legend building. But more often than not, it's not where games are won. More often than not, it's just not. It's the little things. It is the fundamentals. It is the elementary aspects. It is just the execution. In fact, you don't even need that heroic play if Caleb doesn't throw an inaccurate pass for the 1st down. I forget who it was, and I think that was on 3rd down or 2nd down. Whatever it was, it would have been a 1st down that they then needed that insane 4th down play. But yeah, I left this game wildly impressed with Caleb. Wildly impressed with Caleb. But he does still need to grow. He does still need to evolve. And so does Ben Johnson as well. And so does this team. This team needs to be more ready for the moment. For a team that made so many crazy moments and comeback wins and this and that, they weirdly enough, a lot of times are not ready for the moment. And this is where a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, and I've referenced them a bunch today, deserve so much credit because throughout their dynasty, in essentially every massive moment, everybody was ready. Everybody was ready to answer the call offensively, defensively, whether it's coaching perspective, Andy, Spags, Mahomes, Tyreek, Travis, MVS. You know, it doesn't even, whether we're talking about 22, 23, or even 24 before they lost in the Super Bowl, like everyone was just ready for the moment. Pacheco, Kareem, like it didn't matter. It didn't matter. You could call up any one of their numbers and they were just ready to make a play. They were ready to make a play. The coaching staff consistently put them in the best possible positions to succeed, and the plan and the players just always rose to the occasion. Again, it's the difference between winning and losing, and the difference between winning a Super Bowl and winning 3, 4, 5 Super Bowls. And so that's the level of stability and consistency that you're striving for. The Kansas City Chiefs showed you that way. They showed you that formula. They showed you them those methods. But it still has to be built on a foundation of the layups, whether it's Caleb making the throws or the receivers just, dare I say, catching the ball. Dare I say, Ben Johnson saying, we're going to kick a field goal. No big deal. We're going to go up 3-0. I know, shocking. Maybe you do that when you're at home in a freezing cold game and you get a chance to take the lead and put a little bit of pressure, just a little bit of pressure on the Los Angeles Rams. Instead, you give them a win, 0-0, no points. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? What did you make of Caleb's performance? How do you feel that he played even though he technically had more interceptions than touchdowns? Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, you agree with me or disagree with me? Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.